I'm bringing back in a series I did a while ago. Haunted Ground. Ghost Stories from the Rock. The Ghost Stories one, the Newfoundland Tales thing. Yeah. Anyways, the Premonition of the Southern Cross. Trinity and Birchy Cove, Trinity Bay. Every part of Newfoundland and Labrador has its own tradition of strange nutritional tales, and Trinity Bay is no exception. A number of local spirits were recorded for posterity in 1925 by William White, 1860 to 1949, a native of Trinity. Trinity Bay, William White devoted as much time in his later years to the collection and recording of local church history. He documented a number of ghost stories, including a ghost ship seen by a local man nicknamed Crusty Harry. Stories of wrecks and ghost ships continue to be told in Trinity Bay. Garland Bailey of the Trinity Historical Society told me of a skeleton-like ghost ship that was said to appear sailing up Trinity Bay. What made the story novel to me was that the ship was said to only have its wooden ribs missing its planking. One of the more intriguing shipwreck stories I have heard from Trinity Bay was one I learned from Shirley Ryan of Birchy Cove. Her tale is a mysterious one involving one of Newfoundland's famous lost ships, the Southern Cross. And the different fates of two friends, Emude Ryan and Leonard Signiffin. Now, Emude Ryan was my girlfriend's grandfather, who lived down across the garden, so to us, he was Uncle Ned. She explains, Uncle Ned always told the story about how he and Leonard left Birchy Cove where he lived to go across to Calitania. They were really lucky they had gotten a berth on the Southern Cross. They left Birchy Cove and made their way to Catania, she describes. I think they went over on a dog sled maybe because there was no cars to bring them at that time, and the roads across that country was a little better than the path. The two men arrived in Calitania and were about to sign on. They had their berth already promised, said Ryan. They went into what he used to call a tavern. I have never known a tavern to be there, but maybe in them days there were. They went to this tavern to get a drink. Water was all they could afford, because they had no money. So they asked the woman there for a glass of water each. She gave them water. When Uncle Ned turned, his arm knocked the glass onto the floor, breaking the woman's glass. You have to pay for that glass, she said to him. He said, Ma'am, I can't pay. I have no money. Where are you going? The woman asked. We are going on the Southern Cross. We have a berth on the Southern Cross. If you're wise, you won't go on that journey, the woman said, because you won't return. Now, he was a man of great superstitions, and he took what she said to heart. And he came home, describes Ryan, but his friend Leonard wouldn't listen to him, and he went on that ship. The Southern Cross was built in Norway in 1886 and was originally named the Polar. She was sold to the Newfoundland firm of Bain Johnson and renamed the SS Southern Cross around 1901, and she took part in the seal hunt every year from 1901 to 1914. While returning from the seal hunt of northern communication, she was last heard of Cape Pine and then nothing. The Southern Cross vanished at sea, along with 174 sailors and sealers on board her. Part of the great sailing disasters of 1914, eventually a Marine Corps inquiry Here's a picture of the ship and some of the stuff under it. Eventually, a Marine Court of the Inquiry determined that the ship sank in a blizzard on March 31st, but the details remain, for the most part, unexplained. No crewmen nor record of the ill-fated voyage survived. Among the list of the dead was one, Leonard Signiffin, originally of Newman's Cove, Bostania Bay. Uncle Ned told us that story over and over and over, says Ryan. It's a true story. He told it over and over about how he took what she said as serious and accused her of being a witch. Well, lots of people were accused of being witches them days. But he said the woman that owned the tavern was a witch, and that she said that was enough for him. He didn't go, but Leonard did go, and Leonard never returned, Ryan states. Nobody ever returned, eh? That's my little story. The Newfoundland sealing disaster is such an important part of our literary and oral traditions in the province that is unsurprising that a number of supernatural tales have attached themselves to the disaster. I suspect the story here is just one of the many told by the descendants of the men who were lost on the ice or in the wreck of the Southern Cross.